The fluorescent light flickered overhead, casting a pale, sickly glow across the cramped kitchen. Shadows stretched long on the greasy floor, broken by the constant motion of staff darting in and out. The CEO, now wearing a second-hand apron and a faded baseball cap, pretended to focus on wiping down counters, but his eyes kept drifting toward the back corner. There, hunched over a deep industrial sink, stood the dishwasher. His back was slightly bent, shoulders slumped from exhaustion, his uniform so faded it looked almost gray. Stacks of plates, taller than his chest, wobbled dangerously beside him, but he kept scrubbing, dipping, rinsing, repeating, an endless rhythm. His face, pale and drawn, carried the expression of someone used to being invisible. The kitchen was alive with an exhausting symphony, the clang of pots dropping into metal sinks, the hiss of steam from the industrial dishwasher, the slap of wet cloths against counter surfaces. Amid it all, the dishwasher's quiet coughs were almost swallowed by the chaos, but the CEO's ears caught them, sharp, dry, and unending. The air seemed to vibrate with urgency, as if every second lost was a sin. Suddenly, a harsh voice cut through the noise. "Move faster. Those dishes aren't going to clean themselves." It was the manager, barking orders without so much as glancing in the dishwasher's direction. The man didn't argue, didn't even look up. His hands simply moved quicker, metal against metal ringing louder, the sound of someone racing against an impossible clock. The air was thick, heavy, and unkind. The pungent sting of bleach clung to the walls, mixing with the faint bitterness of burnt oil from the deep fryer. Steam rolled in lazy clouds from the sink, carrying the sharp scent of detergent that bit at the back of the throat. The CEO could almost taste the chemicals in every breath. Underneath it all was a more human smell, sweat, soaked into the dishwasher's shirt, telling the story of endless hours without rest. Every now and then, the metallic tang of blood slipped into the air as the man nicked his hands on sharp cutlery, but he kept working, rinsing the wound in scalding water as if pain didn't deserve acknowledgement. The CEO decided to help, reaching for a plate and dipping it into the soapy water. The moment his hands plunged in, heat seared his skin, too hot to bear for more than a few seconds. He jerked back instinctively, but the dishwasher kept scrubbing without flinching, his hands reddened and cracked from constant immersion. The skin along his knuckles was raw, and faint blisters lined his fingertips, but he moved with mechanical precision, gripping each plate like it was just another task to survive. The CEO noticed something else. The gloves provided by the restaurant were torn and useless, tossed in a corner. The man didn't even look at them anymore. This was his normal. When the brief break came, it wasn't much of a break at all. The dishwasher sat on an overturned crate in the corner, away from the bustle, unwrapping a small bundle from his pocket. Inside was a single piece of dry bread, the crust tough and stale. He ate slowly, chewing without expression, as though each bite was more about keeping his body upright than enjoying food. The CEO noticed his eyes constantly flicking toward the swinging kitchen door, paranoid, watchful. It was the look of someone who had been warned before, don't waste time. No coffee, no hot meal, no warmth in the moment, just a worker stealing minutes to refuel before plunging back into the heat and steam. The CEO felt his stomach knot, a mixture of anger and shame. He had gone undercover to see how his company operated from the ground up, expecting to find inefficiencies or maybe a lazy staff member or two. But this was something else entirely. Here was a man working double shifts without a single extra penny, enduring burns, blisters, and hunger, all while staying silent out of fear. The CEO's mind replayed every corporate report he had ever signed that claimed employee satisfaction was high. He could see now how far the truth was from the paper. His heartbeat grew heavy in his chest. This wasn't just about wages, it was about a human being being stripped of dignity, and as the CEO stood there in that sweltering kitchen, he realized this moment would change the way he ran his company forever.